Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. All right, so we got this from Rect Capital. Bitcoin is down 6.19% for the month of September, and this approximately matches the September single-digit downside experienced in all these former years. So 2022, 2021, 2020, 2018, and 2017. So pretty much every single year except for 2019, guys. And, I've talked about this, the fact that, September generally a down month for cryptocurrency, but not only that, for, macro markets too. You guys can see currently September is down 6.19%. And I brought up the monthly on the chart. September is pretty much just started here. So this is Bitcoin on the monthly. This last candlestick here represents September. And it opened up here in and around 58,900. And as you guys can see now, we're only down about just under 5%. So if I can just get in that accurately, it's about 4.72% as of the time of this recording. Now, again, today is only September the 6th. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm dropping it, we haven't seen a lot of volume in the space. We haven't seen, too much movement in the space. However, many people are suggesting that we are in for another downturn before we see some upside to the market. So let me just throw Bitcoin back on the daily here. Generally, we look at it on the daily just to get a sense of, the overall picture here, you guys can see Bitcoin still, let me get rid of that. Bitcoin is still kind of struggling to maintain these levels of support. We haven't actually seen a lower low yet, so that is positive news. We are seeing that volume has died down a little bit, so that's also some good news. But guys, that's not to say that we won't see lower lows. Some people are predicting that Bitcoin could go down quite low, actually. Rob Art here pointing this out, an interesting observation. The percentage drawdown has been either 17%, 20%, 25%, or 30% roughly in the past years between August to September. So that is the time period we are currently in, guys. If we apply these historic crashes to the current macro descending channel, which percentage drawdown taps the support? And so you guys can see that here. He shows different time periods in the last bull run, roughly 30%. We've got a 21% or 20% drawdown here, 25, 31 over here, 17 over here. And what he's looking at, guys, 17, if we look at those numbers that he's suggested, 17%, 25%, if we do see a 30% drawdown, well, guys, where does that bring us on the Bitcoin chart? At a 30% drawdown here. And by no means am I saying that it is going to draw down 30%, but that would bring us, in and around what many people are suggesting, in and around the mid-40s for a Bitcoin price before we start to move upward from the top, guys. That would mean a 38% drawdown from the top, okay, from the former all-time high. So, guys, are we going to see this? Could we see 30%? I mean, it's not out of the cards. We would have to have some kind of news event that would, in fact, bring Bitcoin back down. But if you guys didn't see the video I did yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning's video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. There is a lot of evidence, and I mean, things are, the evidence is kind of in the early stages, I would say, right now. But there is, now there is starting, more is building to suggest that we are going to start to see that rally at the beginning of October. So, I mean, the numbers are pointing to a red September. I mean, this is just another good time to buy up some cryptocurrencies. Or, I mean, if you're in the stock market, I don't know, maybe stocks are your thing. For more information, guys, on what I'm doing, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I just did post a little update yesterday, letting my subscribers in on a new position that I just got into. I'm taking this opportunity to really kind of accelerate my portfolio, guys. I'm not making the same mistake twice. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you guys are interested. You guys can see that, this is a great buying opportunity when there is fear, when there's blood in the streets, guys. We're at 30 for fear, so that has decreased significantly. Market cap has only gone down by $0.01 trillion. So what is that, a million? Yesterday it was at 1.99. Today is at 1.98. So that is down about 0.78%. Volume is up a little bit, 2.04% to 64.78 billion. And Bitcoin dominance still holding on, 56.1%. You guys can see Bitcoin is down a little bit within the last 24 hours. It's down about a percentage point. We've got XRP down about 2.44%. So XRP right now holding on at 53.6, unfortunately. But guys, this is just, the macro picture for altcoins. XRP suffering the same way the rest of the crypto market is suffering. If I were to bring up the total 3, You guys can see that total 3 chart, abysmal, right now at $540 billion. And from its high, that is down about 31%. So, I mean, kind of in line with some of the major cryptocurrencies. Let's bring up Ethereum here. Ethereum is down, 42%. So, an even larger decrease. Let's just take a look at Bitcoin real quickly here. Overall, what did I say? Bitcoin is down currently about 24%. So the king crypto obviously is the one that is holding up the best at this moment in time. Peter Brandt is even coming out saying we should expect lower prices. A test of the lower boundary would be about $46,000 for Bitcoin. So, you know, our estimate is anywhere in there. Rob Art was saying 30%, so that would bring us to 45.2. So, you know, we're in there. A massive thrust into new all-time highs is required to get this bull market back on track. Selling is stronger than buying in this pattern. So Peter Brandt here just showing us another pattern where we could see Bitcoin moving down lower. Again, this is just reminiscent of the lower lows, lower highs pattern that I've demonstrated on this channel time and time again. So I wanted to thank Peter for that. And guys, the macro market is part of this too, just in case you don't know why this matters. This coming from Lady of Crypto here on Twitter. An increase in the global money supply is bullish because it indicates the printers are coming back on. When governments are printing more money, guys, this is good for all these risk-on assets, okay? This leads to lower interest rates, increases liquidity, and tends to push investors towards risk markets like crypto and stocks. So another metric that we should be paying attention to, the M2 money growth year on year. If we take a look through the years, every single time that Bitcoin price did spike, did peak, we did see this M2 growth, okay, year on year. So during the bull run of 2016 all the way up to the beginning of 2018, we saw it. I'm going to discount this one for now, but we saw it in 2018, then we saw it begin again, 2019 all the way to the top in 2021. And guys, look at where we are today. Okay, hopefully we do get some more money printing. And I mean, for many reasons, it's a bad thing, but for risk on assets, for things like investment in cryptocurrencies to get the FOMO back up and running, we do need more of this to get people interested in crypto, to get people confident to trade more cryptocurrencies. And we are starting to see that trend also turn around in 2024, at the end of 2024. And hopefully this trend does continue into 2025. So another interesting observation here. Wanted to thank Lady of Crypto for pointing that out. I wanted to address something we were talking a little bit about yesterday. Jungle Inc. did come out on Twitter wondering where the heck is the mention of XRP on Ripple's website. Are they still using XRP? There was some controversy surrounding that. I'm happy many people did acknowledge that. For all those saying Ripple is no longer using XRP and Ripple payments, Anders here pointing this out. Okay, global payments at the speed of crypto. Ripple payments leverages the power of the digital asset XRP and the XRP ledger. So I think it is now official. I think even though Ripple did remove it from that part of the page, they are still very committed to using XRP. They just are wording it differently, I guess. You know, with website design or, I don't know, flow. I don't know how they, make these decisions, what the process is, but it is not that they are abandoning XRP. XRP is still being used. There are many instances where that has been mentioned. One up XRP saying, that's great and all, but the issue is that XRP isn't really being used by banks and financial institutions. So that's not true at all. The only thing contributing to the price of XRP is us retail investors. That is kind of true. I mean, at least at this moment in time, we are trading in a spec market, and guys, spec markets are very different than what we're likely going to see when that real world utility pump does come in. This is why I'm devising a plan, and you can follow me again over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for all of you guys that are interested. We are not actually seeing a use case. I mean, we are, but the use case just hasn't scaled yet. Anders responding here, that is not true. XRP is one of the very few digital assets being used by enterprise customers to solve a real problem. Nobody is complaining about other digital assets not being used, pretty much all of them. Ripple is simply judged by a completely different set of standards here. He says, I'm not including pilots, trials, and retail crypto applications here. So that is true. If you guys didn't catch the video I did the other day, it was this video over here. Let me scroll down here. It was this video over here. We actually could see transactions running over the XRP ledger, and I will link that video up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys didn't catch it. But, there is real world activity occurring on the XRP ledger. Even Chad Steingraber mentioning this. Here's the current map of active Ripple payments. So this is XRP being used currently, right now. So you guys can see much of Europe is using XRP. Brazil, there's a lot of countries in Asia using XRP as well. He also posts this regarding the use of Ripple Payments Direct. You need to complete the following prerequisites. So giving what customers need to know and the payment flow down here, guys. The following diagram represents a Ripple Payments Direct use case with 3 Ripple nodes. And you guys can see in the middle there is XRP transferring from Ripple to the payout partner. So all this, great information here. Another one, active Ripple payments using XRP here. So in these different countries, guys, they're already leveraging XRP for payments. Again, these are countries with regulatory clarity. Many of these countries in Asia have already been using XRP for years now. So just some food for thought, and I will link all this in the description of the video for you guys. You can also check on Google Maps. This is something he found back in 2019 from XR Planet here while looking for an address. Then after a few days, it disappeared. So another, looks like it's a video of a Google map here showing all the active Ripple partners. And I don't know if you can click on that and glean more information from that. Anyway, wanted to thank Chad Steingraber for pointing that out. We also should remember what David Schwartz did say. It is important to remember, I think Schwartz told us how RippleNet customers will be able to use XRP and ODL within the United States in a back and forth with a certain XRP critic. And the critic said, is Ripple using XRP and ODL flows in the US? David Schwartz saying, is doing something the same as being able to do it. Then he posted a link that takes us to the second pick down below. Now look carefully at what it says at number 4. XRP is moved and converted to the destination currency for distribution by the payout partner. Key here is the payout partner is the one that moves the XRP. Ripple is not involved in the process. So that is the workaround that Ripple has, I guess, kind of figured out works in the United States. And this was, I think, before the clarification that XRP is not a security. So Ripple had to devise a plan here to leverage XRP if they were still going to be pressed by the SEC. So this is the exchange with Scam Detective here, if you guys are interested. And again, that same screen grab from the one that Chad Steingraber did post in the last slide there. So yes, guys, XRP is being used. I think there is enough. Evidence now to suggest that. But wanted to thank Anders and Chad for posting those tweets, guys. XRP Crypto Wolf also posting this. Now, 105 million XRP would not be being transferred unless, well, one of two things. I mean, unless a real-world partner is transferring it for real-world utility, hence the last point that I was trying to make, or if somebody's even just buying it for pure speculation. 105 million XRP is a heck of a lot. Guys, that's equivalent to about $58.21 million. That was transferred between 2 unknown wallets. The tokens were withdrawn from a relatively new RLUSD address, which was activated less than a week ago by a transfer from another sender who did send about 92.1 million XRP. All tokens from this address were transferred to another address starting with RPQUB and left completely empty. For the recipient, this transfer was the first in the history of transactions and literally activated him. So very interesting observation here. We are seeing that the RLUSD is being piloted. So are we seeing XRP now being leveraged to maybe help some of those transactions along if they are using it in a different kind of use case? Again, the RLUSD is being tested. So maybe we are seeing more XRP on the move for these testing purposes. Who knows, guys? The fact of the matter remains, though, XRP is being transferred. And so A, it's either being used in a real world test use case at least, or B, some whale is buying up 105 million XRP to trade in the spec market once this price goes higher. So I think either way, it kind of doesn't matter at this point, guys. We are in it to make some money. We want this bull market to start rocking and rolling. And so we are just, we're currently waiting at this point. The other thing that's on a lot of our minds in the XRP community is the likelihood of that appeal. And, we've been talking about it a little bit. Fred Rispoli, though, he has come out now with a firm prediction. Michael Branch here posting this. So pro XRP lawyer has now raised his odds to 60% for the SEC to appeal versus Ripple. Fred Rispoli, a pro XRP lawyer and founder of Hodl Law, has adjusted the likelihood of an SEC appeal in the case against Ripple. And guys, he is now looking at 60%. Rispoli explained via X that the agreement to place such a substantial sum in trust signals a potential move by the SEC towards appealing the case. Now, Fred Rispoli is talking about that 111% of the monetary judgment. So Ripple has already secured the money to pay. And Fred is noting here, well, the odds have increased of an appeal. Ripple and the SEC have agreed to an arrangement where 111% of monetary judgment will be held in trust to be paid to the SEC only on 1, 30 days after the appeal deadline, or 2, after the appeal concludes. He added that this does not guarantee an appeal, but the odds increase. Putting that kind of money in trust is not something that is done unless the SEC is being evasive to Ripple's lawyers as to whether it intends on appealing. Again, still possible that no appeal happens, but the odds, according to Fred Rispoli, have increased. And I'm sure you guys know that Ripple is due to pay $125 million, and they're ready to pay it. I feel like, they're just waiting for the SEC to stop, dicking around. They just want an answer, I think, at this point. Are we done with this thing, or is this, going to go into 2026, which, some people here are saying is a possibility. To those freaking out over the possible Ripple SEC appeal, don't. There won't be a ruling until 2026. This is what Fred said the other day. The SEC suing exchanges and alleging multiple tokens as securities has lessened the sting dramatically. If Ripple and or XRP don't make it now, and I mentioned this yesterday, it's not because the SEC guys, it is because Ripple is not doing something right. So, we're pretty much out of the woods. There could still be an appeal, though, and I don't know if, Fred doesn't think that is going to necessarily affect the price of XRP moving forward, which is positive news for us, guys. One thing, though, that I was kind of concerned about at the beginning, but, after more thought, I kind of warmed up to this idea that Ripple will not, in fact, be having their IPO in the United States. At first, I was reading some news about this, and it sounded as though Ripple was going to be canceling their IPO altogether, but that was not the case. Ripple has no intention of having its IPO in the United States. So that is not to say that they are not going to launch an IPO in another market. Imagine the BS the SEC would have made the company go through only to ultimately refuse to sign off on the offering. So guys, this is the latest that Brad Garlinghouse did mention over there in Tokyo. I believe it was in Tokyo. When he mentioned this, the Ripple boss cited an unclear regulatory environment as the driving force behind his position, noting that his firm is not interested in another round of legal tussle. Garlinghouse stated that the regulatory crisis conjured by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on cryptocurrencies in the state has discouraged initiatives like an IPO among other cryptocurrency firms, Ripple included. Garlinghouse had earlier obliged to the idea of an initial public offering, and guys, this excited the XRP community. But as per a report, the Ripple boss teased an IPO possibility outside the United States, but didn't entirely rule out a replica in the country. So Brad Garlinghouse saying, chances are, if when they do launch an IPO, it will not be in the United States. I mean, why would you want to have to deal with the SEC and Gary Gensler at this point, right? Because this is the SEC's jurisdiction, the securities market, and for a company to have just come out of a really embarrassing lawsuit for the SEC, I mean, Ripple pretty much did win, fairly gloriously, I guess. And so now they'd have to turn around and ask permission from Gary Gensler if they can now launch a Ripple IPO in the United States. Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. So I could see why they are being strategic with this. I can understand why, they are very adamant about launching this IPO. But now, where is that jurisdiction going to be? Is it going to be Singapore? Is it going to be the UK? Is it going to be in the United Arab Emirates, somewhere in the Middle East? Maybe somewhere in Asia? I don't know. It's got to be a large enough market. Could be in Germany, maybe. Who knows, guys? Europe. There are many options for Ripple and launching this IPO. I know Gary Gensler probably won't be happy about that. And Americans, do deserve better. It is unfortunate that it has come to this, but alas, here we are. I did also find it interesting that exchanges are actually rooting for particular cryptocurrency. Smoke here posting this. Now, this, guys, was in a response, if I were to just scroll down here, was in a response from Binance. Study Bitcoin is what Binance tweeted out here yesterday. Alex Cobb did respond, study XRP. As you guys can see, though, BITRUE was also commenting to study XRP. Exchanges know something is coming 100%. This is coordinated, guys. And if you guys didn't catch the video I did yesterday afternoon, I will also link that one up here in the top right-hand corner. Pretty much talked about the 3 people that are from particular cryptocurrency exchanges that are going to be showing up at Swell this year. Brittany McClary being the one from Gemini. We've got many exchanges now coming to Ripple Swell events. So, it does kind of beg the question, do these guys know something we don't know? Is it not sus that exchanges are rooting for coins? Exactly. This coming from A98 here on Twitter. It is very interesting to see that, some coins obviously are being rooted for by these exchanges. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.